All right, let's just jump right in. Have you ever stopped and wondered what our ultimate purpose is? I mean, it's a huge question, right? But today, we're going to explore a really powerful idea that comes not from some ancient philosophy book, but from looking right outside our windows, at nature itself.
And this is really the core idea for today. Become less like humans and more like nature. What if the actual blueprint for our potential, for the best version of ourselves, has been growing all around us this whole time? Let's dig into that.
So really, what is the goal? Is it getting rich? Is it being famous? Just finding happiness? Well, the perspective we're looking at today suggests that maybe, just maybe, we should be looking at the life cycle of a tree to find a much more meaningful answer.
Okay, so let's unpack this central metaphor. By breaking down the different stages of a tree's life, you can actually see how perfectly they mirror our own journey. It's a pretty fascinating way to map out our own personal growth.
Every great story has a beginning, and for every single one of us, it's right here. We all start out as a seed, just a tiny little thing, but it's packed with pure potential. Think about that. Everything you could possibly become is already inside of you, just, waiting for the right conditions to start growing. The real question is, which path is that seed going to take?
So let's take a look at those different paths. As we go through these next few stages, I really want you to think about your own life, your own journey. Where do you see yourself in this cycle right now?
Now this is where it gets really interesting, because this maps out some of the common places we get stuck in life. Some of us become the stump. Our growth just gets cut short, and we feel totally stuck, unfulfilled. Or maybe we become the bush, where we grow, sure, but only to a tiny fraction of our real potential. And then you've got this other one, the tall tree with no branches. It looks super impressive from far away, right? It's shot up really fast, but it doesn't offer any shade, it doesn't bear any fruit, it's all surface-level success with no real depth or impact.
Okay, so if those are the pitfalls, the stump, the bush, the branchless tree, then what's the ideal? What is the ultimate version of ourselves that we should all be striving to become?
And here it is, the answer. The ultimate goal isn't just to grow tall, but to grow full, to become a massive, fruit-bearing tree. This is so much more than just personal success. It's really the embodiment of a life that's been lived to its absolute, complete, fullest potential.
And here's the crucial part. This does not happen overnight. No way. This kind of tree takes years, sometimes decades, to build its internal strength before it even begins to expand outward. It grows slow, it grows deliberately, and it grows powerfully, from the inside out.
And this is why it's the ultimate goal. See, it's not about being big just for the sake of being big. It's about what you give. It provides shade, it gives protection, it bears fruit that can nurture an entire community, and not just for a season, but for generations to come. This is all about defining your success by the impact you have on other people.
So, if the goal is to become that amazing, fruit-bearing tree, how do we actually do it? What does it really take to nurture that kind of growth in our own lives?
These ingredients all work together kind of like a little ecosystem for your soul. It all starts with your mindset. That's the soil your seed is planted in. From that foundation, you develop skills. Those are the tools that literally build out your branches one by one. And your creativity? Well, that's what blossoms into your own unique fruit. But listen, no tree grows in a vacuum, right? You need a community, an ecosystem to support you and help you thrive. And maybe most importantly, this is not a one-and-done deal. It requires constant tending, daily nurturing to keep growing stronger.
And this all leads to a much broader, richer definition of success. It's about seeking overall wealth, a richness in all areas of your life. It's a great reminder that if you only ever chase money but you don't have the right mindset, you could lose it all in a heartbeat. True wealth is that holistic growth.
And when you get down to it, all of this work, the mindset, the skills, the daily tending, it's all building toward one thing, your legacy.
This is such a powerful thought. The things you create, the knowledge you share, the support you give to people, that's your fruit.
and that fruit can continue to nourish people long, long after you're gone. In a way, it's a path to a kind of immortality, all through the value you bring to the world.
To put it in a completely different way, this is your ultimate form. It's about reaching your highest Super Saiyan level. It's that version of you that is just fully realized. Your roots are deep, your branches are strong, and your positive impact is felt by everyone around you. It's about unlocking that full power.
So I'll leave you with this question to really think about. As you go on this journey of growing your own tree of life, what unique value, what special gift, what kind of fruit will your branches bear for the world?
Yeah, hustle bear in the building. Adrenaline truth, this that run up the hill grind. Pressure make diamonds, I've been cutting through the steel line. Dreams don't chase you, better get it while the will grind. Legacy's a blueprint I've been building on the real time. If fear's in the room, I'm the one to make it go quick. Faith in my chest, watch me load it like a full clip. Haters catch the wave or get washed in emotion. Action over doubt, that's the hustle bear doctrine. I've been running through the noise with a fire in my lungs. Every setback was a lesson, now I'm speaking in tongues. From the bottom to the summit, all I needed was a spark. Now my pain got a purpose, see the light in the dark. Ay, motion over madness, that's the code that I keep. Every dream need a soldier, I ain't losing no sleep. Put the doubts in the dirt, plant the faith like a seed. If you want it, go and get it, that's the hustler's creed. I woke up with a mission like the rent due on my oxygen. Purpose in my pocket, every loss became a document. I'm calibrated differently, my hustle got a doctorate. Turn my fears to employees, got them working on my confidence. Life hit me with storms, but I learned how to monetize the rain. Pain became a passport, now I travel through the strain. People love excuses, cause excuses never change. But action pay the bills, that's the truth inside the game. Had to cut some ties there, weight don't climb. If your circle ain't moving, then you running out of time. I ain't waiting on a sign, I was born to be a beacon. Hunger ain't a mindset, it's the language I speak in. Every day is overtime, I ain't got no halftime. Walking with a lion heart, built it from the bad times. Legacy's a contract, God signed the bottom. Now I hustle like the devil, never wanted me to blossom. I done fought my own shadows, had to box with my doubts. Took the quiet route to freedom, now my voice too loud. You can measure a man's truth by the storms he survives. I took every closed door as a gem for my mind. Pressure got a flavor, I've been learning how to taste it. Fear is just a wire that your courage gotta break with. This grind ain't pretty, it's sweat, grit, pavement. But comfort is a prison and dreams don't do arrangements. I came from the trenches of excuses and delay. Now discipline the engine, keep me pushing through the day. I ain't working for the moment, I'm investing in a name. When your legacy the mission, every step becomes a flame. People talk potential like it's somehow gonna save them, but potential's just a debt, action's how you gotta pay it. Success ain't in the future, it's a choice in the now. And if you waiting on approval, you ain't ready for the crown. I've been running through the pain like a treadmill on fire. See the ashes of my doubts, that's the proof I'm getting higher. Every no became a hammer, built a kingdom out of trials. Faith drove the steering wheel while hustle held the tires. Ain't no elevator up, just the stairs of intention. Gotta climb with conviction, every step is a lesson. The grind is a mirror, what you see is a reflection. If you lazy with your actions, you gon' struggle with direction. Had nights where I cried, but the tears paid dues. Had fights with my pride, but the growth came through. Every scar got a purpose, every bruise got a clue. If you scared of the fall, you ain't ready for the view. I'm a soldier for the dream, that's the hope that I keep. Motivation ain't a moment, it's a promise you repeat. If you walking with excuses, you ain't walking with me. And if you want another level, you should hustle like a beast. I've been running through the noise with a fire in my lungs. Every setback was a lesson, now I'm speaking in tongues. From the bottom to the summit, all I needed was a spark. Now my pain got a purpose, see the light in the dark. Hey, motion over madness, that's the code that I keep. Every dream need a soldier, I ain't losing no sleep. Put the doubts in the dirt, plant the faith like a seed. If you want it, go and get it, that's the hustler's creed.
The reason most people never make their first commission online has nothing to do with traffic, offers, or email lists. I'm about to show you what it actually is and why fixing it starts with one link. You've probably been here before. You found a system that looked legitimate. The sales page made sense. The price felt manageable. You bought it. Then you opened it up. Module 1 was fine. But somewhere around Module 3, when the training assumed you already had a list, or an audience, or some technical setup you never heard of, the clarity drained out of it. The gap between what the training says to do and what you can actually do right now opened up. And here's the part nobody in this industry will admit: that gap is not your fault. It is a design flaw. Comment hustle, and I will share with you the earn as you learn system that pays complete beginners real commissions for taking the training steps before they make a single sale. I watched a YouTube video with no sound, and it completely changed how I look at online business. I'm not exaggerating. No talking, no music, no movement, just a picture, sitting there for an hour. At first, I thought it was a mistake. Then I looked again. Then I made it full screen, and something clicked in my mind that I did not expect. It wasn't about the picture. It wasn't about the video. It wasn't even about the channel. It was about something much deeper, something most affiliate marketers never notice. And once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it. If you've ever questioned your value or wondered why your content isn't landing, you need to watch this training, because what I learned from that silent video might shift the way you show up online.
I give you food for action, don't choke on the truth. This lesson I prepare was made just for you. Feast up, I'll keep serving till the pot run dry. Got enough cooking to feed the whole country, no lie. Too many flavors, you know, I got what you like. Don't start beefing with me, you won't win this fight. If you come in peace, keep your teeth intact. I got a plan to get this cake, come grab a stack. Life could be sweet, if you listen, you'll see. Food for action on a platter, served fresh by me. I'm serving knowledge on plates, got the recipe down. A blend of hustle and wisdom, that's my sound. I'm feeding the masses, no crumbs, full course. But if you bring nothing to the table, find the door. Stop acting like you got beef, it won't taste right. This flavor's reserved for those ready.
Okay, family, we are live. We are live. And I want to welcome you guys back to another episode of the Hustlers 10-Minute a Day Challenge. Today is Strong 42, day 4, and we are right at 15 minutes into today's challenge. So as usual, I'm excited. I try to make it a habit. I try to make it a consistent habit of being excited every single day. Every single day I get the opportunity to peel back the curtain and share with you guys an opportunity to make money from home, an opportunity to learn a new skill, an opportunity to open your eyes and see things just a little bit clearer than it might have been the day before. So right now I'm looking outside the window. It's a nice sunny-ish day. The sun was shining a little bit brighter than it was, right? And I got the window up, so just in case if you hear some background noise, I'm listening to the traffic go by. I'm feeling the cool breeze from outside, and it's setting the tone for what I want today to be like. I want today to not only be a regular Thursday, but we know that Thursdays isn't just a regular Thursday. It's what we consider to be an action taking Thursday, every single Thursday. So today we have a couple of things going on, right? So you know already that there's a live training going on today. So I don't want to keep you guys too long because I don't want you to make any excuses. I don't want you to say that, hey, you went for an hour long on a live and that's all the time that I had. And I don't have time to attend the later on live. I've met my quota for the day. I don't want you to have that type of excuse. So I'm gonna try my best not to go too long today, but I have to deliver the message. I want to talk about action taken Thursday in the actions or inactions of people. Now, every single day that you're building your business, you're being judged. You're being judged in one way or another. We consistently talk about that. It's either how you appear or the things you say, the things you post, the comments that you make under other people's posts. All of these things are being held to a certain standard. People are gauging it and judging it up against other other things, their personal standards, what they've seen before, what they expect from you. And every single day it's on you to either strive to become a better person, a better version of yourself than you were before, or to continue to maintain that same level of character, of work ethic, of consistency that you've been displaying all along. Now, I did my routine, right? When I got started, I pulled up a new tab and I wanted to see what's going on in the news and, what's being affected and what's affecting people on a daily basis. And there's a couple of stories. There's two stories in particular that I wanted to kind of talk about. One, I actually read into the article just a little bit, and the other, it wasn't really an article. It was just a small little blurb type of section. So I'm gonna get to that one first because it was pretty short and to the point. But it it kind of hit to the point of representation. What it is that you do, the actions that you decide to make and how they possibly affect how you're looked at. Now, this one right here, it's a recent story and it says here, well, 23 hours ago by the Daily Express, says Trump makes sinister threat over Caroline Levitt's job after blaming her. Titles and headlines and hooks. That's the name of the game. That's everything. That's everything in the industry of online marketing. And this right here is a marketing piece. Now, once again, I like to infuse things that other people don't want you to talk about into the topic because I find that those things, politics, religion, the things that really hold a lot of keys to your life, that control the things that's going on in your life, that guide other people to making decisions that effectively affects your life. Try to implement, conversations around those topics because they are very, very important. No matter what anybody tells you, they're very important. But this one right here in particular, this is interesting. And I always make it a habit of not just taking something at face value. And that's one of the lessons that you need to learn in your online business. You need to be able to see a story or watch a training and be able to get the deeper message behind what's being taught. You need to be able to see exactly what's being said, even though one thing might be said, but it could be a completely different message than you expect. But it says here that President Trump criticizes negative press coverage and questions Press Secretary Caroline Levitt's performance during White House briefing. Now, that gives you a little insight. For some people, depending on what side of the spectrum you fall on when it comes to politics, whether you like a particular group of people or you don't like them, this might, make you want to jump to read the story or find out more. You might say to yourself, hey, I never did like her. And now Trump, he's expressing his dislike for her. You might have seen some actions or heard some things that she said or done, and you've said to yourself, man, I don't like her for whatever reason. And you've just been waiting for other people to, take that same stance. But sometimes, there's a such thing as professional fault finders. Those are people that's always looking for problems instead of searching for solutions. Now, this is a introspective point, and this is the moment in everyone's life when they have to look inside themselves to start to understand who they are. What type of person do you want to be? Do you want to be a fault finder, or do you want to be a problem solver? Now, me personally, I choose to be a problem solver. So that's why I am able to discuss a particular topic and be able to bring somewhat of a sense of clarity to the situation. So without taking it at face value, the first thing I do is I do a little research, because the whole story is based off of something that President Trump said. So I pulled up the video just to see exactly what he said. And yes, he did say that Caroline Levitt was doing a horrible job. But it wasn't exactly that cut and dry. His point, or his angle at which he was saying it, his hook, was basically because he's looking at the press, what he calls fake media, people that, are reporting stories. And in his opinion, they never get it right. Said over 90% of the time it's negative press about him. And so he kind of related it or deferred that point to say that Caroline is doing a horrible job. And then he jokingly said, well, should we get rid of her? Nah, I think we'll keep her. And that right there was enough to send kind of shockwaves through the media, enough for them to craft a catchy hook that suggests possibly that, he really doesn't like her performance. Now, we know, based off of previous experiences, we know to pay attention to certain signs. We pay attention to things. Somebody might say something one day and they say it in a joking way. And then a couple of days later or a couple of weeks later, you find out that, they either really felt that way or they didn't feel that way. And then they take actions accordingly. Yesterday, we talked about, Christy Nome and the situation going on surrounding her, right? Now, that was a journey. That was a situation that started out with one story months ago, and then another story developing after, some time during that time frame, and then it culminated or it led to the most recent story. Now, this right here might be another situation similar. It might have just been, a funny joke, or it might be something that he really feels, and that might lead him to take actions in the future. But the point of the matter is this: you're under a microscope. You're being evaluated every single day. Every time you open up that laptop or you open up that cell phone and you decide that you want to post something or that you want to express and share a message. Hopefully it's a good message. But just know, whether it's good or bad, once again, it's being put under a microscope. And people are looking. They're looking for, you know, a reason to applaud you. And they're definitely looking for a reason to say that you're doing a horrible job. And they're looking for other people to side with them on whatever stance they decide to take. It goes back to the saying of there's no such thing as bad publicity. The only bad publicity is no publicity, not getting the story about yourself. not having people want to talk about you, not having people want to comment under your posts, not having people want to judge you. And that's one of the things that online marketers have a big fear of. And it's something that keeps them from being successful to the most extent, right? Your biggest fear, or one of your biggest fears, that that fear of being put under a microscope, of being scrutinized, of being looked at a certain way. That could be the one determining factor that's keeping you from being successful. I heard something yesterday. My girl was playing somebody, I don't even know how to characterize the content creator. I'm just going to call her a content creator. Black woman who posted, and she creates parody type of songs and posts. In one particular song, she talks about how she hate NIGGAs. Now, you can hear that and you can interpret it however you want. Do she mean a specific group of people by race or culture? Or does she mean a specific group of people by attitudes and actions? It might not be too clear. But then she has another song where she talks about how she only dates white men, and her boyfriend is sitting right there. A white man who's sitting in the background while she's singing this parody song. And she says that she is not a slave. He is her, I forget the term that she put it, but it was something that, you know, two distinct songs, not professionally done, but something that was done by a person that, by most standards, people would say, hey, they can't sing. But it was catchy enough theme and vibe that specific group of people, or, her target audience, made it go viral. And now she's a viral content creator based off of these two or more parody songs. That's the only two that I heard. And I'm saying to myself, man, turn this shit off. That's my thought when I'm listening to it. I'm like, yo, this right here is crazy. But I understood, and I appreciated the fact that she used whatever it was that she had, whatever thoughts, whatever things she had on her mind, to take action. And those actions resulted in her going viral. Now, the messaging, the words, the things that she had to say, eh, you know, we can all agree or disagree. But once again, that's not really something that is most important. Most important is that she felt like doing something and she took action on it. And not only did she take action on something that was controversial, and I know she had to have known that it was controversial. And I think that was the complete purpose of her making those type of songs, because she's a controversial content creator and she knows how the algorithm works. And more so than knowing how the algorithm works, she didn't do it faceless. She didn't hide behind a mask. She didn't, blur anything out. She showed her face, understanding that, hey, this right here, if it goes viral, it could come all the way up to her front door. It could be people in her local area that sees this, people that know her. But the thing that's commendable is that I assume she doesn't really care. She doesn't care how people see her. She's bold enough to do what it is that she wants to do, to portray herself in a certain way, and to be judged based on that. So, you, It's on you to decide what type of person you're going to be, because you're going to be judged either way. Make the decision. And also do some research. Step outside of the box. Be willing to watch something different, to hear a different perspective, because you might not agree with that perspective, but you can always find value. The valuable thing sometimes might be in the fact that you really don't like it, and you saying to yourself, man, how could anybody else like this? But if they like that, then they can like me. So with that, I don't want to keep you guys too much longer. I just wanted to go over this quick story right here, just because this is something that, you know, is interesting. Because you have this woman that's been, press secretary for over a year. And I would say by, any standard, she does a decent job. She does what it is that she's supposed to do. She handles the questioning, she delivers the messaging, she does it to the best of her ability. She's not too different from any other press secretary. A press secretary is somebody that, has an extremely hard job, because you have to stand 10 toes down on the beliefs of somebody else. Whether you possibly truly agree with it or not, you might be saying in your mind as you're delivering the message, you might be saying, man, I can't believe that I have to say this or I have to do this. But being a professional, you roll with it. So that's something to be commended, and that's something to be studied, because online, most people are doing opportunities and businesses that they would have never possibly decided on doing if it was up to them. They were told that these particular opportunities were the best ways of making money. They were never really interested in that particular product or service. And once when they got involved and they learned that, hey, this could be a financial win for me, and now this is my job, they decided that whatever the message is that's being told to them to share, they decided to take action and deliver that message against all odds. So in your business, you might have to do that also. You might have to do some things that you really don't want to do, or that you don't really agree with 100%. But you might say, hey, I have to do it because it serves the greater good, whatever that might be. So it's always a lesson. So right now, let's just pull up some information real quick, because I want to go back to our dashboard, which on our dashboard, it tells us about today's upcoming training. And as you can see, today, Thursday, April 2nd, at 2 p.m. EST time, we have what's called the External Intelligence AI Traffic, how Rich gets millions of views without being on camera. So once again, this right here, if you choose to take action, you'll be able to join this exclusive live training where marketer Rich reveals the AI-powered content system he's been building behind the scenes since late 2025. In just 7 days, Rich generated over 14 million views across TikTok and Pinterest without filming a single video, editing footage, or spending anything on ads. His method uses a new AI tool that finds high ... You wanna find out what he found? Be there live on today's training. And just imagine this. He generated over 14 million views across these two platforms. Now, what if you generate 10 million views or even 1 million views due to the information shared in this particular live? Are you willing to accept the judgment that's going to come with that? Because people are going to judge whatever it is that you posted, whatever it is that you're going to share, whether you're going to be on camera or not. People are going to make their judgments. More than likely, there are going to be a lot of comments. Could be some positive, some negative mixed in there. And what if it actually blows up? What if it goes from 1 million to 5 million to 10 million? Are you willing, able, and capable of dealing with this type of exposure? Now, in order to be capable of dealing with it, you have to learn some foundational skills. And I believe that in this training right here, you'll not only learn the method that he used, but you might get some insight as to the person themselves. What type of person did he have to be or become in order to achieve this? In order to, be able to take advantage of this, because views isn't money. And I know your whole goal is to earn an income, but everything starts off with traffic, views. So if you can get the views, that's awesome. But you have to have a place to guide them to. And we actually have a system that we share on a daily basis that gives you something to guide people towards. And that system can help you create a financial future for yourself, your family, and the people that you connect with. So with that, I wanted to also do this before I go. I wanted to debut a new music video. I wanted to give you guys something. I was working on it yesterday, and as always, I like to continue working on something until the job is done. I don't like to just leave it half done. I get excited when I'm working on projects that I really have a passion for, things that I really enjoy doing. And of course, we know the Hustler's 10-minute a day challenge. It's primarily centered around creating that music, creating things that inspire, motivate, and that speaks to our audience. So what I was working on, it has to do with the music. And, I like to, once again, go above and beyond. So not just create the song, but also create some visuals to go with it. So I want to debut this new song. Well, actually, it's not a new song, but it's featured on the Welcome to the Hustleverse album. That album of the year for 2026, right? I'll keep saying that because I truly believe that it's one of the best pieces of artistic work that you'll hear. I stand on that. I stand by it. And this song right here is featured on that album. It's called Movie Studio Mindset. And I wanted to do it a little bit different. I wanted to, just change it up just a little bit. I didn't do it in the regular or in the standard 16:9 ratio. I did it more in the real style, a 9:16. And I did more of a mashup of various clips because I wanted it to kind of flow. I wanted it to kind of feel like, you know, represent the song, Movie Studio Mindset. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. We're going to go into that and then we're going to close out. But I hope you guys have enjoyed today's live, and I hope you join me today along with my business partner, Mr. Wayne Crow, at 2 p.m. EST time, where you'll learn those valuable skills. And you'll also learn how you can actually earn an income every time you share our amazing opportunity, even if nobody purchases. Imagine that, making an income from home, even if nobody buys. If they attend and they learn, you can possibly earn an income with our earn and learn system. So with that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Comment hustle if you're interested in partnering with me on this amazing journey. Put a 1 in the comments if you're watching live. put a 2 in the comments if you're watching on replay. And I will see you in the next live.
This ain't a backdrop, it's a movie I direct. Every scar got a roll, every loss got a set. Lights on the truth, I don't shoot for effect. I turn pain into scenes the world won't forget. No permission slips, no waiting on chance. I cut the fear out the frame, let the vision advance. If life wrote the script, I rewrote the intent. Welcome to the mindset, movie studio mindset. I ain't standing at a screen, I'm standing in control. Whole studio in my reach, every button got a goal. They taught us consume, never taught us create. So I flipped the equation, turned delay into fate. Every failure got archived, every win got logged. Every late night lesson still feeding the plot. I don't hide my mistakes, I light them on set. Cause the truth hit harder when the angle's correct. I learned pain ain't random, it's footage misplaced. If you don't frame it right, it just sits as disgrace. So I studied my scars like deleted scenes, found the meaning in the mess. Now it's crystal and clean, no actors for hire. I play every role, writer, director, lead. Full creative control. When you own the process, you don't beg for applause. You just let the work speak when the curtain falls. This ain't a backdrop, this a movie I direct. Every scar got a roll, every loss got a set. Lights on the truth, I don't shoot for effect. I turn pain into scenes the world won't forget. No permission slips, no waiting, no chance. I cut the fear out the frame, let the vision advance. If life wrote the script, I rewrote the intent. Welcome to the mindset, movie studio mindset. They waiting on the call, I was building the line. Waiting on a green light while I mastered the grind. I seen talent with excuses, seen vision with doubt. Seen potential die slow, cause fear stay loud. I don't rent motivation, I invest in belief. Turn consistency daily into cinematic relief. 10 minutes a day, still shaping the real. Small scenes add up when the message is real. I don't need a budget to tell a strong story, just clarity, courage, and scars with authority. Every setback sharpen my narrative voice. Now my silence speaks louder than desperate noise. I teach through the footage, not captions and hype. Show them how the frame works, then I hand them the light. If your life feel chaotic, I'm focused, confined. You ain't broken, you just need to edit your mind. You don't need permission to document your truth. You don't need approval to be proof. Your life already happened. The question is, who's directing it now? I stopped asking why me, started asking what for. Every wound was a door, I ain't noticed before. I don't flex fake endings, I show the middle part, where belief get tested and most people fall apart. I ain't selling dreams, I'm revealing the craft. How to turn raw footage into impact that lasts. This ain't about fame, it's about distribution. If the message don't spread, what's the contribution? So I build like a teacher, I shoot like a vet. Every frame got intention, no scene wasted yet. When you own your platform, you own your voice. You stop chasing validation, you create the choice. I want builders, not watchers, directors, not fans. People tired of surviving, ready to command. This ain't a highlight, this a system of thought. If you think like a studio, you can't be bought. This ain't a backtrack, this a movie I direct. Every scar got a roll, every loss got a set. Lights on the truth, I don't shoot for effect. I turn pain into scenes the world won't forget. No permission slips, no waiting on chance. I cut the fear out the frame, let the vision advance. If life wrote the script, I rewrote the intent. Welcome to the mindset, movie studio mindset.
woke up to silence. Dreams still heavy. Phone screen dry, but my vision stays steady. Mama said, baby, that job ain't your lane. But I clocked in anyway, chasing someone else's gain. That got me dancing with denial at night. Scrolling for hope, but it's hidden from sight. 10 minutes a day, sounded small at first, but in silence even whispers can't quench a thirst. Notebook in hand, wrote my future in ink. Mapped out my mission before I started to sink. Every post was a prayer, every share had weight. I wasn't selling a link, I was shifting fate. I found my rhythm in the quietest place, where hustle meant healing and grind meant grace. From the corner of doubt, I carved my space. Legacy ain't loud, but it wins the race. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the vision stick. No hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create, etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes a day, turned into legacy. People laugh, said she doing too much. To my PayPal ping, then they changed up the touch. No big brand, no six-figure crew, just a mic, some lyrics, and a dream that grew. Tired of waiting for the gatekeeper's call, so I built my own stage, held my own hall. Suno on deck, that's the beat in my chest. GPT spitting like I'm born to impress. Said I'd never make it, cool, noted. But now my bars turn pain into coated. From broken to branded, I ain't asked for fame, I asked for freedom and I claim my name now. Hustle berry on loop like healing chance, for the girls who grew up with limited chance. This is more than a challenge, it's breaking the chain. Cause 10 minutes a day rewired my brain. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the vision stick. No hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create, etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes a day, turned into legacy. Now my daughter sees me different, eyes full of fire. She said, Ma, your words lift me higher. This ain't a hustle, this a heart-led path, where math meets message and message meets math. Community over clicks, value over hype. I ain't here to trend, I'm here to type. Blueprints for the ones still stuck in fear. Let them borrow my belief till their purpose clear. Haters still quiet, but I'm loud with grace. Posting in peace, not a mask on my face. Every bar I drop, every beat I write, I'm free in the